One of you fantastic viewers has sent me a rather interesting and rather bizarre and disturbing story that you found on Reddit. So thank you for that. I will send you the link to this video and I would like to comment on it because I think it's quite a significant impact. And I think lots of people will be quite disturbed by this if this is going on in your child's school. So this Reddit post is titled, "My school are making me download an app to track my location. I go to a sixth form college and they are from now on making it so we have to download an app to our phone. This part's fine. My problem is that it says we must set location settings to always on. And my question is, are they allowed to do this? I live in England for context and just wondering if schools can make us do this." So in my view, having considered it, no. I don't think that's lawful because it's got all sorts of different implications. I can understand why the school wants to do it. They want to somehow implement some kind of safety regime so that they know where the students are, so if students get lost and kidnapped and all the rest of it. I can really see the benefits to that. But I can also see this being a massive GDPR nightmare because there are certain limits that schools are allowed to go to with regard to collecting and storing data and so on. But I believe, for one, they could certainly not make children have this app because they might not have a phone at all. And they certainly can't force the child to have a phone. But even secondly, if those children have a phone, can they make them download an app? That's somewhat questionable. It might be within the scope of the law to allow them to require that this app is downloaded as part of the school rules. But for me, where that crosses the threshold is whether it says that the location settings are always on, because quite clearly they are not always at school. So this would then become surveillance, monitoring and all of that sort of stuff. So it would quite literally be tracking these children's location at all times of the day and everywhere they went. Now that is going, certainly in my view, is going to be beyond the realms of what is necessary and proportionate in the sense of data collection and data protection vis-a-vis GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018. So in short, if your school is making your child, or if you are a child watching this, you should certainly be above the requisite age for YouTube for one. But if you are at school and watching this and your school is making you do that, I would quite literally make some noise and speak to your parents about it, and potentially even get your parents to speak to a lawyer about it, or better yet, direct them to this video, because my initial view on this is that that is way too much outside of the scope of GDPR, data protection and what it's designed to do. As I say, I can see the reasoning behind it, if that is the reasoning behind it. I haven't actually read into what the reasoning behind that was. It may just be one of these things where they didn't intend for that to happen. But nonetheless, if the app is saying you must have location settings always on, for me, that is outside the scope of data protection and what that should allow. So in my view, that should not be the case. And if you're the school that's watching this, I would phone your lawyers pronto and see if they agree with me, because I think that's outside of the realms of what you'll get away with. And I certainly think that there's a possibility of some investigation by the ICO there, and potentially even legal ramifications, fines and so on. So if you are the school, I would tweak it immediately. If you are the child, speak to your parents and get them to speak to a lawyer, or better yet, direct them to this video. And anyone else, check whether your school is making your child have an app that tracks their location 24/7, because in my view, that would be wrong. So I hope that is a very quick and interesting story with some legal insight from me. Please make sure you keep sending me these stories. If you want me to comment on these things in this sort of quick fire way, I'm perfectly happy to do that. It's not legal advice, as I always say, but it's my best guidance as having read this just now. That is what I think. That is my reaction. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you next time.